given up 30-plus points in 4 of the last 6 games, and also of the NFL's third worst scoring defense overall. Could this be a spot tank where you take an over, even though the unders are hitting so rapidly this season?
I'm not sure because even though it's going to be 50 degrees, there's an 80% chance of rain. And then what I'm most worried about is supposed to be 20 to 30 mile per hour winds. So if it's going to be super windy, I don't know if we'll get a lot of points in this game. We saw how the wind was impacting some of those games in the Northeast last weekend. So when I really break down this game, is really tough to just count the Browns out because right when you're saying like, all right, they're done and they're going to quit fighting, just waiting for Deshaun Watson to arrive, that's when they blew out the Cincinnati Bengals. And even though they lost the game against the Buffalo Bills last week, like they stayed in it. Donovan Peoples-Jones, like this dude balled out last week. Amari Cooper balled out, had 2 touchdowns. Jacoby Brissett threw for over 300 yards. And so you can see a path to the Browns, like if they can get it together on defense, and even if they can't, that offense is going to try to fight and stay in it. And you always have Nick Chubb. And with him having such a low output last week, you'd like to think that he bounced back this week. And so given that fact, when you try to think about the psyche of these teams and understand that Tampa Bay is coming in, like they got 2 wins in a row, but the Browns haven't given up. Tampa Bay has something to fight for. I think this could be a tricky game to try to project what's exactly going to happen. So I really don't have a strong lean either way. I would say that if it is windy and if you're looking at the wind before this game and saying that it may limit what these teams could do on offense, I would lean towards the under. But as far as like who's going to win this game, I know people will want to lean and say, hey, the Bucs should get this and trend right because they have everything to fight for with Atlanta right on the hills. But I feel like Cleveland's going to keep on fighting. And so this could be a little dicey outcome right here.
Absolutely. And Jacoby Brissett coming off of his best game of the season, threw for 324 passing yards, 3 touchdowns last week. The first time this season, Jared, that he hit the 300-yard mark. Do you think he could do the same against a Tampa Bay defense that's one of the best in the league?
Yeah, this is an interesting game. And Tank, your instincts are exactly how the Sharps feel about this game because I'm seeing a battle here around 3. Offshore, it's gone to 3.5 a bunch, and every time it's gone to 3.5, it's quickly been bought back down to 3. And that kind of, and that's pretty common amongst that key number. But you do see Cleveland kind of getting a little love here from some of the smart money off of that key number. So if you do see a 3.5, I could see a world where it doesn't stay 3.5 through the rest of the week. And at some point, the onshore shops catch up. Superbook, I'm still looking now, is hanging a 3.5 as we're recording the show on Thursday morning, but it's juiced to the Brown side. So it's plus 3.5 minus 120. So they're making you pay for that hook. And I think narrative speaking, I think this Tampa Bay team definitely is trending up. They come off the bye from the Germany game and, 1-2 in a row. Their offensive line actually is playing a lot better. And their defense is getting healthy in the secondary. But then you watch some of the things in the second half and the fourth quarter of that game against Seattle, and you saw some holes back there. You saw Geno Smith have a chance to at least bring his team back late. So this one feels like a stay away for me. I think the total spot on at 43, especially if weather's involved. We could see this move significantly over the weekend. But at 3.5, it's probably a lean to Cleveland. At 3, it's probably a stay away.